Have you ever noticed that the greatest humiliation comes not from a sworn enemy, but from the trustworthy face who sold you cheap promises? You trusted in brilliance and paid with reputation. Today, you will learn to see before you believe. You will lock your heart and open your radar. Here, charisma doesn't save anyone. Cost, time, and consistency do. Power begins when you see what others only feel. Machiavelli would call it governing appearances without being governed by them. This video is a training course for operating with a cool eye, a silent auditor's stance, 90% observation, 10% speech. You'll stop collecting adjectives and start noting micro-costs, time spent, real effort, risk assumed. No verbal seduction, just data. The truth rarely shouts. It repeats. A small pattern, repeated 3 times, is worth more than a grand confession. Those who need to charm you hand you fireworks. Those who are competent become lighthouses. The fireworks disappear in 10 seconds. The lighthouse saves ships all night long. If you're a man and want respect, understand, attention is cheap. Investment hurts. Listening to you is cheap. Paying a deadline without a reminder, correcting your own mistake before exposing it, and accepting real friction. These have a price. An ally pays the price in the present. An opportunist promises later. You've been trained to believe stories. Forget it. From now on, you measure 3 things: delivered cost, time spent, and accuracy under friction. Those who matter remain stable when the clock ticks. Those who perform complicate. Those who operate simplify. Maybe you've spent years trying to prove yourself, explaining, justifying, asking for another chance. Stop. He who explains submits. Those who explain too much kneel. Power is about saying little, measuring a lot, and moving levers in silence. Here, you'll learn to transform promises into tolls, brilliance into structure, words into verifiable actions. Immediate ritual. For the next 3 days, evaluate 3 key people using 3 simple metrics. 1. What costs they actually pay. 2. Response time. 3. How coherent is their delivery. No emotional judgment, just data. By the end, you'll see who's the beacon and who's the flashpoint. This channel is for men who are tired of wasting energy on theatrics and want to protect their reputation. If that's you, subscribe now, like, and share. And tell me in the comments, when was the last time you trusted in brilliance and paid with reputation? Today, you'll go out with weapons, not sweet phrases, procedures. Take a deep breath. Hold your heart. Open your radar. Let's begin. Law of the cold signal. Ignore stories. Collect metrics. You were raised to admire those who speak well. I will teach you to respect those who deliver under pressure. Much of power lies in differentiating signal from noise. Signal is what hurts to deliver. Noise is what is cheap to say. When you cut through the theatrics, only 3 numbers remain: cost delivered, time spent, and accuracy when the going gets tough. Everything else is just lip service to fool the naive. Moving stories create a halo effect. A positive detail, beauty, eloquence, a resume, contaminates everything you see. You start to assume untested virtues. The rule is simple and straightforward. Cut out adjectives. Evaluate 3 numbers: deadline, rework, dependencies. If no number comes, it's just smoke. Those who truly operate know how to measure where they spent energy, how much needed to be redone, and who they had to rely on to stay afloat. The amateur always makes the same mistake. He confuses visible effort with proven value. The more noise he makes, the more unsure he becomes of his own results. Competence reduces rework. Theater multiplies meetings and explanations. The competent person doesn't need an audience to function. He only needs context and time. Anything else is waste. and waste is the hallmark of mediocrity. Want a quick test to separate headlights from fireworks? Try the 10-minute check. Pick a project. 1, not 3, and answer unemotionally. How many deadlines did this person meet without a reminder? It's not delivered. It's without a reminder. Second question. How many times did they correct their own mistakes before presenting their work? Third, when the pressure was on, did they simplify or complicate? 3 objective answers tell you more about operational character than any brilliant hour-long presentation. Notice, when the pressure mounts, the fireworks become more brilliant. They explain more, promise more, and escalate more. Word count increases. Precision decreases. A real operator, however, does the opposite. They reduce the number of words and increase the density of what they deliver. They don't say they'll do it. They do something verifiable now. If they say, "I adjusted," you see the adjusted version. If they say, "I confirmed," you receive confirmation. If they say, "I sent," the file is in your email. No beating around the bush, no narration, no seduction. You might think, but his work is difficult. That's why it takes so long. That's why he talks so much. Be careful. Real difficulty is no excuse for subjectivity. Real difficulty translates into a plan, milestones, and explicit risks. Those who know the terrain point out limits and price the friction. Those who don't create fuss and ask for more time. One detail: a competent person doesn't get defensive when you ask for a number. They give you the number, and if they don't have it, they tell you when they will. An immature ego reacts to the measure as if it were an attack. A mature ego appreciates the ruler because it knows that the ruler protects reputation. Do you want respect? Replace what you think with what the numbers show. Say less, "So-and-so is great," and more. Met 4 out of 4 deadlines, 0 rework, reduced dependencies. Say less, "So-and-so is hardworking," and more. She corrected her own error before presenting. Twice in a row. The world rewards those who speak the language of cost, time, and consistency, not the language of charm. In power, opinion is weak currency. Metrics are ballast. There's still a poison few realize: the confusion between performative speed and useful speed. The performative responds quickly to seduce you, but doesn't move anything concrete. The operator responds in the right time with a measurable step. The former gives you anxiety and a sense of progress. The latter gives you actual progress. One uses the chat as a stage. The other uses the chat as a checklist. One keeps you engaged in the conversation. The other leads you to surrender. Do it today, now, without warning. Ask for a micro result that eliminates doubt. Send me the version with corrections 2 and 3. Attach the log with the time. List the dependencies and suggest the order. Observe what happens next. Those who are lighthouses illuminate. Those who are fireworks make noise and disappear in the smoke. The lighthouse doesn't need an audience. It exists to save ships all night long. The fireworks fascinate you for 10 seconds and leave you in the dark when you need them most. What if you're the one who's the firecracker? If it hurt, it's because you got it right. Power demands that you kill your own theatrics. Cut 50% of your explanations. Increase your traceability 100%. Stop saying, "I'm almost there," and deliver, "It's here." Stop selling intention and deliver evidence. Commit, receipt, confirmation, version. The beauty of the signal is that it dispenses narrative. A signal is a result with a trace of friction. From today on, treat stories as entertainment and metrics as truth. When someone comes with brilliance, offer a ruler. When someone comes with promises, offer a toll. When someone comes with an opinion, offer context and a deadline. Those with substance accept. Those with only brilliance escape. And you don't need to argue, accuse, or explain. You measure. And those who refuse to be measured end up exposing themselves. Remember this: in powerful environments, no one respects you for the effort you seem to put in. They respect you for the rework you avoid, the deadlines you meet without reminders, and the precision you maintain when things get tough. This is a sign. This is expensive to fake. It separates men from boys, fireworks from headlights, the noise of command. Price reveals truth. Use costly signage. Have you ever noticed how some people feed on attention as if it were currency? Narcissists and opportunists thrive on cheap signals, compliments, loud presence, chat availability, inflated promises. All of this costs pennies. Those who are solid pay in another currency: time, reputation, and resources. There's a name for this: costly signaling. Zahavi. When there's real risk, lying becomes expensive. And that's exactly when you turn promises into tolls. Attention is not an investment. Attention is light, elastic, infinite. Anyone can pay attention to you while scrolling through their feed. Investment hurts. Investment steals hours, exposes your name, ties up your cash flow, and compromises your reputation. If you confuse attention with investment, you fall in love with the audience and forget to consider who's holding the stage. Stop getting carried away by those who respond quickly. Start bonding with those who are willing to pay the price that backs their word. The real ally accepts small sacrifices now. The opportunist pushes everything to later. Later is where promises die without a funeral. The rule is simple, and you'll apply it today. Ask for a specific cost now. Nothing abstract. Nothing sentimental. Something concrete. Confirm by email and attach the file. Reserve the table with your card. I'll transfer half. Record it in the minutes and sign. Upload the commit with corrections 2 and 3. Forward the document and put your name in charge of technical responsibility. Watch the reaction in the next few minutes. Those with substance respond with evidence. Those who thrive on brilliance begin to rant. Speech is the coward's pillow. You'll notice a pattern. The opportunist bristles at the word cost, as if it were a personal insult. He'll call you suspicious, controlling, cold. He'll say you don't trust him. It's true. You don't trust anyone who doesn't back you up. Trust without a cost is childish. Adults trust what was paid for. Children trust what was promised. And in power games, those who act like children become toys. There's a recurring theme in every company. The charismatic manager who never takes legal risks, never puts his name on documents, never signs off on technical responsibility. He gives speeches, shows up at meetings, and tells the perfect story. Alongside him, there's the silent coordinator. He doesn't perform. He's the one who supports. He's the one who signs off on technical responsibility, who assumes calculated risk, who endures friction. One shines, the other supports. And it's the one who supports who truly rules. If you're still dazzled by brilliance, you'll work for whoever pays. If you learn to demand a toll, you'll start driving. Costly signaling, Zahavi, is not an abstract theory. It's the line between theater and command. Competent people create evidence that's painful to falsify. You want to see character? Look at the risk invoice. Who pays? With what? In how much time? With what traceability? No one maintains a facade when lying is costly. A lie needs a stage and an audience. The truth needs a receipt. But what if the person can't pay now? Great. They explain the limit, propose a lower cost, schedule the delivery, and comply, and you receive the micro receipt along the way. Refusal isn't fraught with drama. It comes with a proposal, deadlines, and considerations. Serious people aren't afraid of tolls. They're afraid of ambiguity. Only those who live by seduction fear invoices, logs, signatures, and receipts. Apply this to relationships. Do you confuse attention with real affection? Attention is a message. Investment is visible effort. Showing up at a difficult time. Taking on a boring task. Assuming a public responsibility. The test is the same. Ask for a specific cost now. Can you confirm the reservation in your name? Can you send me the receipt? Can you take on this part and send me the status by today? An ally accepts a small, immediate sacrifice and doesn't turn it into a soap opera. An opportunist changes the subject, acts offended, or puts it off for later. After that, the opportunist hides. Apply this to your family. Is the relative who gives you an opinion on your choices willing to invest time to help you with a specific task? Or does he just want the spotlight? Apply it socially. Is the friend who invites you to partner willing to put his reputation on the line in a contract with consequences? Or do you prefer a painless friendship without deadlines, without a receipt? Serious people accept that bonds have a cost because they understand that cost is the cement of trust. Those who want control without paying a price want free power, and free power only exists in the minds of amateurs. From now on, you will standardize your language of power. Promises become tolls. Great. Then confirm by email with an attachment. Excellent. Then reserve with your card and send me the receipt. Perfect. Then sign here as responsible for this step. Deal. Then upload the version with the 3 corrections and send me the link. No hostility, no accusations, no theatrics. You simply set the price for the ticket. Those who want to cross, pay. Those who don't, complain about the price. And the complaint is, in itself, a signal, noise. There's still one refinement. Don't ask for huge costs. Ask for micro costs that reveal inclination, a small reputational risk, a small time block, a small financial outlay. The big man prepares. The opportunist escapes. The micro cost is the portable character detector. It fits in your pocket and works every day. And remember this, those who bank don't pride themselves on the price. They just pay. Those who perform don't pay. They display their intention to pay. The real operator feels protected by the invoice because the invoice is evidence. The performer feels attacked by the invoice because the invoice is the limit. If someone asks you for trust and then runs away, you already have your answer. Don't negotiate with ghosts. Ghosts don't sign. Starting today, you will establish a reflex. If you receive a promise, ask for a toll. If you receive charisma, ask for a cost. If you receive an opinion, ask for responsibility. And if drama arises, breathe. Drama is the disguise of non-compliance. Numbers, deadlines, receipts. These are the only languages you can listen to. Those who truly want to build with you will thank the ruler because the ruler protects both of you. Those who want to use you will be offended because offense protects their game, not yours. In the end, it all comes down to one question. Who pays for what, when, and with what trail? The answer will tell you who deserves to be by your side when the clock ticks. The rest are just spectators wanting free proximity. And power isn't charity. Power is a cost, a toll, a liability. Start charging. Those who are allies, cross over. Those who are a risk, back off. And you don't need to raise your voice. Just raise the bill. Halo breakup. Separating brightness from structure. The halo effect is the illusion that silently topples empires. A positive trait, beauty, eloquence, a flashy resume, contaminates the rest of your perception. You look at an attribute and begin to see virtues no one has tested. Machiavelli would say, judge by results and the ability to stay the course, not by first impressions. Shine is curtain. Structure is steel. If you continue to be guided by charm, you will pay the price for your own naivety. The myth is seductive. If everyone likes it, it must be good. A comfortable lie. Popularity measures entertainment, not reliability. How many people have you applauded who never had to prove themselves under real friction? A true operator doesn't live for the stage. He leaves a trail of early corrections. Serious people make mistakes early, correct them quickly, and avoid costly mistakes. Those who live for brilliance hide the dust until it becomes an avalanche. And when the avalanche arrives, they blame the climate. Do you want to break the halo? Demand density. A simple test for today. Ask for 3 technical details of a project the person claims to master. No frills, no care. 3 details. If adjectives appear, ask for numbers. If numbers appear, ask for limits. Calmly say, where does this break? Observe the breathing. Observe the posture. A competent person isn't afraid of the edge. They know the point of failure and tell you how to get around it. An amateur shines on the outside and rots on the inside. They get offended when reality demands to see the bone. The counterintuitive revelation is this: truly competent people shamelessly expose their limits. This doesn't diminish trust, it increases it, because trust isn't born from perfect promises. It's born from clear boundaries. When someone tells you, here's the bottleneck, here's the error rate, here's the risk, they're handing you a map, not a gloss. Those who are too brilliant hide their edges, postpone difficult conversations, and promise softly. And you pay the price for their silence with your name. Stop collecting charisma and start collecting mechanisms. Ask questions that disarm fantasy. What's the metric that confirms progress? What's the milestone that validates the stage? What's the contingency when the play fails? Perhaps you can answer without drama. The performer turns the conversation back to themselves. Look, the important thing is that and then you know you're dealing with a smoke salesman. Bring this into your daily life without aggression and without asking permission. At a family dinner, when someone displays success, calmly ask, what was the cost you wouldn't repeat? This question is a sharp one. Those who know how to answer, because those who have lived through the process know the price. Those who perform deflect, change the subject, seek laughter, and focus on their own image. In social settings, exchange compliments for technical interest. How did you measure? What was the time until the first validation? What was the most costly error you neutralized? Observe the reaction. The structure smiles and opens the spreadsheet. The shine demands more light. At work, set a personal policy. No project is approved without numbers and limits. You don't need to shout, explain, or beg. You just need the right ruler. 3 technical details, 3 verifiable numbers, 3 explicit limits. By doing this, you're not being difficult. You're defending your reputation. The adult who takes offense to a ruler isn't an adult. They're an actor wanting to direct the play with their name on the poster and their reputation on credit. Notice how the halo confuses your loyalty compass. You start by admiring those who entertain you and end up obeying those who don't protect you. Breaking the halo puts things back in place. Admiration goes to the structure, not the spectacle. The person who shows you the worst-case scenario respects you more than the one who sells you fantasy. The real world rewards those who know friction, not those who stage ease. If you've been stuck in halo for years, don't blame yourself. Just turn off the tap. From now on, when a snake charmer appears, you trade the stage for a rail. Show the step. Show the die. Show the edge. If the charmer has substance, he delivers. If he's just noise, the silence of the rail will give him away. The examination is cold. Either the story holds up in different contexts, or it falls apart when the temperature changes. Shine doesn't hold heat. There's a powerful side effect when you live by this logic. You become immune to social intimidation. People try to bend you with collective approval, with titles, with ready-made narratives. You calmly respond. What are the numbers? Where does this break? The group may laugh. They may even turn up their noses. But reality works for you. In silence. Reality likes those who measure it. And power is aligning yourself with reality against fantasy. Final application. Don't fight charisma. Reduce it to entertainment. When it's finished enchanting, call the structure to the table. 3 technical details. 3 numbers. 3 limits. Make this a reflex. Those made of steel will relax and collaborate. Those made of glass will crack. And you won't have raised your voice for even a second. You'll have simply removed the halo. And without the halo, the world returns to contours that protect your name. Time unmasks. Intention. OODA in micro-decisions. Character doesn't appear in the first sentence. It leaks into the gap between what a person heard and what they did. The OODA loop, observe, orient, decide, act, is the lens for viewing this gap. Under pressure, the timing of orientation and the quality of action reveal whether there is discipline or theater. Those who need an audience inflate their words and delay their actions. Those who are serious cut short their speech and produce something verifiable. The common mistake is to judge by the first response. The first response is a cover-up. What matters is what changes in the world in the following minutes. If you want to truly define someone, apply the 3x3 protocol. 3 short questions, 3 minutes of silence, 3 minimal verifiable actions, objective, emotionless questions. Silence to kill the drama and force direction. A minimal action that leaves a trace. Sending the file, confirming the time, adjusting a specific item. Time it. Precision comes from the clock, not from charm. Those with substance transform questions into action. Those who thrive on narrative transform questions into discourse. Notice the strategic twist. When the going gets tough, the competent person minimizes words and increases precision. The insecure person does the opposite, expands words and decreases precision. The competent person isn't afraid of the clock. They use it as a ruler. The insecure person hates the clock because it dissolves fantasy. That's why talking too long, under pressure, is almost always a disguised request for forgiveness. Forgiveness for what hasn't happened yet. You don't judge a pilot by their calm voice in the cockpit. You judge them by their black box. Decision data captured in time. Those who love you with words but don't attach proof are selling you turbulence with beautiful audio. Demand a trail. Demand a version. Demand confirmation. Not to humiliate, to protect your name. The adult appreciates the ruler. The amateur is offended by the ruler. And offense is a given. If you think you're being too harsh, shift the blame to procedure. 3 short questions, 3 minutes of silence, 3 minimum verifiable actions. This isn't authoritarianism. It's operational hygiene. You don't need to shout. You don't need to explain. You put the clock on the table and observe who works with time and who tries to seduce time. Only one of them deserves to continue. Now turn the camera on you. Under pressure, do you talk more or deliver something verifiable? If the answer hurt, great. You've found the lever. Cut half the sentences. Double the intensity of the gesture. Replace "I'm already seeing this" with "it's here." When you start operating with this logic, your reputation changes. It stops being an opinion and becomes history. And history is power that needs no defense. The map and the territory, layered vision, action in levers, conclusion and finalization of the script. Seeing what no one sees requires two hands. With one, you gather hard signals, cost paid, response time, coherence between speech and delivery. With the other, you translate these signals into levers of power, explicit limits, resources under your control, a reputation protected by a trail. Machiavelli whispers from the depths of time. Short decisions avoid long wars. When you measure early, you cut early. When you cut early, you avoid the war that devours your name. Before moving forward with any decision, apply the closing checklist. 4 cold questions that don't require applause, but rather honesty. What cost did this person pay? Was the response time consistent? Did the story hold up in different contexts? Did the pattern repeat 3 times? If you can't answer without trembling, you have no decision. You have hope. And hope, without a trace, is debt. With the answers in hand, execute the response plan in layers. First, reposition. Translate the agreement into written limits and metrics. No assumptions. Everything is in the language of cost, deadline, and responsibility. Then, demobilize. Withdraw audience and resources from those who don't deliver. The stage feeds the theater. Without a stage, only what is real remains. Finally, cut. When 3 patterns converge, you close the door. No accusations, no soap opera, just procedure. Cutting is reputational surgery. It hurts little now to prevent an infection that would destroy you later. Remember this final warning. Vision without action becomes paranoia. Action without vision becomes recklessness. It's not enough to see the plot. You have to pull the right lever at the right time, with enough of a trail so that no one can distort what happened. Power isn't about shouting. Power is about cold routine, applied repeatedly until the environment learns to respect you automatically. And remember the metaphor of power that should live in your pocket every day. Headlights, toll booths, and black boxes. You light the way so that lies have nowhere to hide. You charge the cost so that words become commitments. You register so that reality has a witness. Anyone who complains about the light, the price, and the registration is not a partner. It's a risk. And risk, once identified, is not included. It's that simple. If this content gave you weapons, do your part. Like, share, and write in the comments which metric you'll adopt as your personal law from now on. And remember, you don't need more charisma. You need a ruler, a toll booth, and a history. With that, you stop being a spectator of your own life and become an operator. The world doesn't respect those who ask for permission randomly. The world respects those who measure, charge, and record. Headlights, tolls, black boxes. The rest is smoke.